That's cool. Let me know if you need to practice between now and then. Maybe I can help. I hope it goes great. Break a leg.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, I hear somebody.
Hey, Chris. Imran here. How are you?
Ron, how's it going, man?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
You're in Kuwait?
Yes, I'm in Kuwait. Sorry, my camera's off because
That's okay,
I'm
man.
going to join for half an hour and then snooze off.
That's fine. How's your trip?
Pretty good. Very fruitful. Things going pretty good, man.
Nice. And you're headed
Uh,
to some other countries next?
yeah, I'll be going to Dubai, hopefully, and then a couple of more places. Let's see. I'm waiting for some appointments to happen.
Are you enjoying yourself or are you mostly just working?
So, yeah, I mean, when you're alone, you generally just end up working around the clock. Hopefully next week, I'll probably catch up with some friends and it should be fun.
You think you're so fancy, Zaro.
Wait, what? What the hell?
Oh, cool.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
You think you're so fancy.
Isn't it cool though? Look at me.
Have you actually become a sim cluster robot?
Oh yeah, this is my VTube version of DJ Zaro. Look.
Amazing. You made that this week?
I made this yesterday.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, man. Like to be honest, it's so fun to do.
Things have been coming fast because I wanted to make a VTuber a year ago and it wasn't a 1 day project at the time.
I mean, it's not a VTuber, it's a PNG tuber, right? It's just three different images, and then I activate them with my voice, and then I have like a different stance where I'm looking at the monitor
Uh,
like this.
just three different little paper cut images.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, and then I activate it with the like I change the images with the audio. So it's just like a trigger from the microphone.
Incredible. Um, you've been like making nonstop stuff of yourself for a month.
Bro, I have been making a lot of AI media stuff. Oh my God, the swarm of note takers, eh?
I know.
All of a
I
sudden,
put them in the waiting room. I'm just doing it one by one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like look, I'm looking at you, and then I press a little key here, and then I'm looking at the computer. Unless I'm talking, and then I'm looking at you.
Pretty funny, man.
It is. There's a different one here. It's the coolest one. Wait up. But it's on the smallest side. So small here. And then if I put a song and I really like it,
Oh, cool.
And just vibe to it.
I still think I probably prefer the real Zaro, but whatever.
Ooh, Real Zaro sucks.
He's annoying for sure, but I still,
He's annoying.
I still
This
like
this one is the better version of Zaro.
it.
How's Victoria, man?
It's nice. I just posted a video on like the Brain Trust channel. I'm in this space right now called Fort Tectoria, which is a building in downtown owned by Viatech, which is their nonprofit technology association for the island, which is like BC Tech or BCAI. But they've had like the same leadership team for like 25 or 30 years, and it's allowed them to implement some like long-term strategies, man. And so they bought this building. I just
What?
here, dropped in. They get, not it's not even like there's not even an attendant here. There's like a cafe in the front, and it's just super sweet. And so yesterday they had like an AI conference, 350 people at it. Uh, it,
Wow.
it was way better than that AI summit in Vancouver, but very similar kind of energy, and
Oh,
it
wow.
definitely made me realize that I want to do a summit next year, 1 or 2 day thing, and maybe with these guys. And yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting, man. It's cool to be here. And then today they're having like an even bigger trade show. Yesterday was just AI, but today's like all tech. And man, there's so many cool like robots here and drones. Like all the universities came and brought their like robotic teams and rocketry teams and drone.
Wow.
There's submersibles and there's firefighting drones and there's all sorts of crazy shit that you just don't see at like your standard, technology events in Vancouver that I go to, or whatever. And so it's like very interesting. This scene they've carved out here. I'd also say, and this is like no knock on us in Vancouver or anything, but the noise to signal ratio, the signal ratio here is very high. There's a lot of fucking smart people that are like arms deep in AI stuff, either hardware stuff or platform stuff is very interesting. So I'm inspired. I like it here. There's a realness and an authenticity to the vibes and stuff. And so yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm listening and I'm making connections. I'm telling our story and supporting some members like Loki gave a keynote yesterday and Philippe gave a keynote yesterday. And so just like, doing the like soft skills, hanging out, learning, listening, and making new connections. It's good.
That's so cool, man. How was Loki's talk?
It
We
was
saw
awesome, man.
the
Loki's really kind of coming into his stride in some ways, I feel like, because like this Mac group gives him the ability to go
Mhm.
really deep and to literally do research. And then like this, you were there. So like the Mac talk he gave last time is his own research and stuff. And now he's finding ways to bridge that into the business world. So like yesterday, normal day full of conference stuff, like, but they were very high-end speakers. Like the head of cybersecurity for all of Canada flew out from Ottawa to give a security talk. So it's like normal mix of what you would expect at an AI conference. But then the last talk is like Loki giving this mind-bending closing keynote, opening possibilities around artificial consciousness. It was great, man. It was really good. And it's nice to see him in his element over here. He's been great about coming and participating with us, but he lives in Souk. So he comes over for every meetup and every Mac, and that's
wow.
a couple visits a month, to Vancouver. And
Yeah.
so feels good to kind of come see him here on his turf. He's going to join me physically during this call, and then we're going to hang out this afternoon together. And yeah,
That is so cool. That
yeah.
is so cool. Yeah, we saw the rehearsal for his talk. So yeah, I'm glad it went well.
He's been doing a lot of work over here with this thing called the Victoria Data Society, which is kind of a nonprofit related to data, AI, all the kind of stuff that we're into. And so they're making some good strides. They're starting to have meetups and stuff, and they're inviting us in to kind of like be a part of that and stuff. So I'm interested, and to be honest, like one of the critiques of like associations like ours maybe is that they start in Vancouver and remain Vancouver centric while calling them a British Columbia something,
Hmm.
and so that's why our events in Surrey and Squamish. I did one thing in Powell River once and one thing on Hornby Island, but you've heard me talk about going on world tour next year, like once a month, going to a different place, and just sharing the good news around what we're doing here in BC or in Vancouver. And so yeah, I've been trying to like not just stay Vancouver centric and to bring in people from the regions, actively.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Beauty. Awesome, man.
How's everybody doing? Welcome. I see
Good.
one new face at least. Where did it go? Ashutosh. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Hello, mister.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Did I get it wrong?
Oh, you got it right. I'm glad that not many people get my name right for the first time, so I know it's
Do some
challenging.
people, oh man, I've got a lot more Indian friends since starting to organize in Vancouver. I've really been trying to get the names a lot more fluent, just so that they're not new to me. Do people call you Ash?
Yeah. Ash is my go-to name. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Hey, this is a drop-in kind of a situation. Often I give some kind of like what's on my mind, and then we go around the room and just kind of like at the beginning we would introduce ourselves and kind of talk about how we're showing up. But a lot of us have been coming to this weekly for a while now. So I just wanted to say welcome. And do you want to start off by saying who you are and like just what you're up to, how you're showing up today?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Ash. I literally had no idea about this meeting. Just like somebody sent a message to me that there's some conversation going on Otter, because I think the transcript of this meeting is going on Otter. So I logged into Otter, and that's how I remember, like, okay, there's a meeting. So I may chime in, because I've been really away from the tech space, or maybe the public space from last like 1.5 years. I've been building my house here in Ladysmith, so I'm really doing hands-on work myself. So I'm really away from my computer for a long period of time. But generally, I have an engineering background. I have a PhD in civil engineering. I've spent like almost 7-8 years of research in intersecting artificial intelligence with civil engineering, specifically on the infrastructure monitoring side. But largely, I have a company that is Invent AI. I'm building a post-disaster management AI stuff. So we have done some of the work already. And right now we are just like in the process of building our own model, like from scratch.
Nice.
So it is not me, it is my partner who is a software engineer. She also has a PhD in electronics engineering. So it is like some kind of a collaborative work, but it's on a slow burner. So yeah.
Well, welcome. That's really cool that you're in Ladysmith. You just heard me wax poetic about my love for the island and the cool scene you guys have going over here. And so, yeah, thanks for joining.
But by the way, just wanted to say that I know that you've been there at the Victoria's some AI event, AI week, or the tech week. So I've attended that like for like 3 to 4 years, and I think I've attended the Data Society events as well, because I was in Victoria for the last 5 years. And I was really active in like the tech space, the innovation space, the public grants, funding, and all of that. I was working with this group called Ocean Startup Project that was based out. That was a sub part of like the Ocean Supercluster. So we sort of like dealt with like most of the funding agencies and the whole of the tech space. But then like when I left my job, and then I really got away from a lot of things. So just trying to.
Ash, have you met Udbhav?
Sorry.
Have you met Udbhav?
I think so.
He's the smiley guy up in the corner there. He just got first place in the Ocean Supercluster Hackathon in Victoria, and he's flying to Paris 1 week, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, on the 30th, we have the global Ocean Supercluster Hackathon event. All different countries are competing. So we are representing Team Canada there. Yeah.
That's so cool. I saw the Ocean Supercluster booth and I was like making my way to here, but I'm definitely gonna go say hi, grab some stickers, and be like, I know Ubdav. I know that guy. Congratulations, mister. It's really nice to see Yemi dialing in. Are you home, sister?
Hi, hi everyone.
Hey,
are you home?
I miss you guys so much. I'm normally out like partying on Fridays at this time of the day, but I'm on parental duty.
I love it. I love it. Thanks.
How's everyone? I hope you're all good.
Thanks for gracing us with your presence. I'm really happy to see you. We have another new
Likewise.
member here today that I would like to have introduce themselves. Anton came to our Surrey AI meetup on Tuesday night. It was really great to meet you, man. I love hearing what you're up to and great energy and stuff. So just wanted to welcome you and let you introduce yourself and just kind of say whatever's on your mind.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. So I recently moved to Vancouver from Edmonton, and I think this is the right place to meet people who are interested in AI. Recently, I was working on the company that creates the conversation applications for customers like enterprise customers like Toyota and United Airlines. But I didn't feel well there. Like I didn't believe that it's the future and the company moves in the right direction. So I am 4 days without a job. And I am happy because I have a lot of time to explore new opportunities, to try different models, to finally try many text-to-speech models that I have like in my to-do list. So I'm exploring new opportunities. I have many ideas. I like to discuss them. One of them, my biggest ideas that software development like will be changed soon. It's changing right now, but in the nearest future, it will be much easier to write software, and people who have no technical background will be able to create something that works for them really easily and fast. And I'm going to help them in some way. So if you have some ideas, just message me. I'll just let's build something, some crazy ideas. Right
And
now I'm working. Yeah.
I wanted to suggest that well, we got some of this happening on Discord, but let's also, I'm going to change the name of the hackathon channel to something like technical. Maybe I'll even just call it like, software or something, because like I'm having private channel this morning with a whole bunch of people that are exploring anti-gravity. Me and you talked about it, and we're all kind of heading in the same place. Like 5 people on this call are all fucking with the same shit. So I'm just going to make sure that we have a space that we know that that's the place to do that kind of stuff. And it's maybe not clear that the hackathon channel is probably or the Discord's probably the right place for that right now, but would love to see you start doing some of that stuff in the open, because it's just adjacent to all the shit that everyone else is working on too. Like I'm doing a lot of transcription and knowledge-based creation, but a text-to-speech thing is something I've been messing with too, multilingual text-to-speech. So I just would love to just like start mixing it all up together in that space. But please proceed. You were going to say some other stuff too.
Yeah, just I have the experience mostly in this software development. I started my career with crypto, and I created several marketplaces. One marketplace was fully decentralized, and it was really nice, like part of my life. Then I got my own cryptocurrency startup. But because of war in Ukraine, I needed to move to Canada. So I'm here right now and exploring for new opportunities here, and happy to be part of the community. So
I don't know how much
thank
of
you.
our Ukrainian crew you've connected with since you're pretty new, but it'll become obvious. There's like at least like 12 or 15 folks that are core to our community, including Andre and all his friends that are the Ukrainian mafia. They just won the last hackathon. We gave them 2,500. So like, yeah, I look forward to you connecting with those guys, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enoch, welcome, sir. Thanks for turning on your camera. Another new member. I just wanted welcome to introduce yourself, say hello, talk about what's on your mind for a minute.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm Enoch. And so I've worked with AI, leading AI product teams since 2015. And what we focused on was computer vision applications. And earlier this year, I left that company after being with them for 17 years to join a venture capital company. So I'm looking to get a feel of the AI kind of startups in Vancouver. So we invest in Canada, and we're based in Vancouver. Nice to meet you, everybody.
Nice to meet you as well. I look forward to rubbing brains together, sir. There's been some movements around in my brain around kind of developing a community fund and maybe doing some investments through the organization. And and I'm a sponge right now for this kind of stuff because it's a new area to me. So I look forward. Thanks for being here. Well, we have Jason Sanders just joined us, and this is my first chance to meet Nora for real. So I'm just gonna throw to you while she's here and happy. Hi, Nora. It's Uncle KK.
Hey. Oh my God, that's so cute. That's so cute.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
she's the cutest baby I've ever met. So yeah,
Anton,
thanks.
when I was like, yo, I'm having some private chats, Jason and I have been going back and forth all morning about anti-gravity best practices and bottlenecks and different things. So want to find a space where we can all do that together. But Jason, who are you? What's going on? How are you showing up today, man?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I'm Jason, and then this is Nora here down here. I keep missing these sessions because my wife does bar at 12 on Fridays, so I end up taking care of Nora during lunchtime. So just thought I'd bring her along and introduce her to everyone. Um, and so
Is your wife
I'll probably have to jet at some point, but I wanted to like say hi to everyone
is your
and
wife a
meet
ballet
y'all.
dancer or something? What does bar mean?
No, she just likes the exercise. Like it's kind of like doing ballet exercises,
Oh,
but
but
like
I was right. That's what does
yeah,
bar
no,
mean.
totally.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
wow. Okay, shit,
yeah,
I was joking, but
yeah,
that's great, man.
yeah. I did like Diaz sports for a while, and then I joined her for a free partners bar class, and I almost died. So it's extremely intense. It's
Hey,
like
Jason
I was
and
like crying.
Jason and I known each other since the Web Top 2 days, and we were a part of building a pretty cool community around social media and the internet, like literally 15 years ago. And it's been
Hmm.
really enjoyable to be reconnected with you. I've appreciated just where you're at and your journey and stuff. And I want you to reflect for just the room a bit on your post that you shared on Brain Trust this morning because
Hmm.
it really got me. I've been feeling the same way and noticing the same trends in my life. And that graphic is my favorite graphic on the internet. So would you just talk about what you shared and what it means and that whole thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I don't have a coding background. I've kind of like taught myself through like YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I've taken like some Python classes at UBC. So I work at UBC, so I got like these tuition credits. And it's always been really hard because I think I learned a little bit later on. And I've had all these ideas in my head. And then I started to play around with like these AI assist stuff like Cloud and then I got a Gemini Pro um account and started to like make really small like extensions that just like benefited me. So and just really tiny stuff that would like break pretty quickly. But I just noticed like if there was like friction, like I work with Workday every day. And then I made some stuff that would just help me like navigate Workday a little bit better for myself. That just like runs on my like Chrome and and then I had like this moment where I started to do it like a little bit more because I was getting like the reward much more quickly. I could have like this idea and I could like see it in like in its shitty form very, very quickly. And it kind of like it just like energized me and made me kind of excited to try stuff out. And I got to like blow through a bunch of ideas that I had. And then I noticed that I was starting to like just notice like little patterns. And then I had like a bit of a habit of like when I'm up feeding her at like 2 a.m. and I put her down and I can't get back to sleep, I'll like play around with some stuff. And so that's sort of where like that habit has like come through.
Jay, before you
And
go,
yeah, yeah,
before you go too much farther, the graphic that he shared this morning was
yeah,
his GitHub commits. Keep going.
yeah. So and all of a sudden I had like this moment where I've noticed I don't know we had like this promise of like Web 2.0 and APIs and that things would like connect a lot better. But what ended up happening is like we ended up all these walled gardens. And then I started to ask Gemini, oh, like how about like maybe like like can you take this information and put it into like a more readable format? Can you take these screenshots and do that? And and so I've been like playing around with like trying to use LLMs, and that's like the project that I'm working on right now is like try to use it to kind of like pull stuff out of these walled gardens and make them kind of free again. And I'm seeing it all over Reddit. Like all over Reddit, there's people who they're I don't know, it's not like production ready or enterprise grade code, but they're making like little Python scripts that will what was the example I saw? Oh yeah, somebody like has like a downloader to download TikTok videos to your Obsidian Vault. And I was like, oh, that's something that I've needed for a long time. And it just like makes that a little bit easier. And all these people are kind of making really like micro or nano apps to do that and to get it into like a like an open format. And so that's what's really cool is we're kind of using like future technology to almost get back to, lack of a better term, like 1.0 in a way, where things are just open and then we can like play around with it and mix and match. Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's where that kind of clicked last week. And then with anti-gravity, I was like, oh, actually, I can do this.
I
Yeah, it was cool.
love it. I love it, Jason. And that's
Yeah,
not at all the story I wanted you to tell. He
yeah.
uploaded a screenshot this morning of his GitHub commits, and it went from like none to a few to intense to all the fucking time. And he was like, this is kind of like the rings of a tree of my own like evolution in response to this tool. And it's just such a cool visual. If you got a GitHub account, your green box commits thing is so. Mine doesn't look quite as dense as yours, but the same rings are there. You can see when I clued into the fact that I should be committing some of this stuff to a repository. And then you can see where I've done sprints and then where I started like making it a part of my daily rhythm. And anyway, I just thought it was such a cool little graphic. You should check it out on Brain Trust if you haven't there.
Well, thanks.
Hey, what's up, Sasson? Throw that mic on, man. Tell us what's going on in your world. You've been making big moves.
What's going on, guys? Sorry for being late.
Tisk for being late to the open drop-in session, sir. There is no late.
My main two focuses, I mean, for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm not a technical person. Still, I would consider myself very new to the AI space, but deeply diving into that world. I'm a student currently at my at UBC Solder MBA, trying to get MBA students literate and understanding how to use tools in the AI space, because right now we're not being taught it. So hosting workshops, fluency sessions. We're going to bring Chris down for a panel discussion, and then eventually a hackathon, which we got. Chris, I'll tell you a little bit more. We got more potential sponsors for that hackathon. So
that's great. Hackathons are a great catalyst for sponsorship. Actually, I can bend your ear on that a little bit if you're out there seeking it, because it's a great story. It's a great way to rally resources.
the lady we got from Google, who's like the education lead at Google, she also works for General Assembly as well.
Yeah,
and the General Assembly folks are like already committed to sponsoring it. So
good job, man. I really like the moves you're making. You had an event this week. It looks like.
Yeah, that was she came up from Seattle from Google to kind of give us a kind of deep dive into Gemini and gems and all that good stuff.
Oh wow, you got a Gemini deep dive the same week the Gemini 3 came out?
And we didn't plan it that way at all. It was kind of crazy. Like, and we get it for students, we get it for free for a year. So I played around with it quite before. It's quite an amazing engine.
Bless, man. That's so cool.
The timing was really cool, and she's a great connect. So maybe we can bring her up for a meetup. I'm sure she'd be down for it.
Yeah, great. I trust your instincts there. So you have a little bit of latitude to make that happen.
Cool. Yeah. And then the only other piece is working on some of the gov relations stuff and trying to get that piece moving.
Yeah. So I mentioned it before. We started a government relations channel. A bunch of us are talking to just different industry associations, politicians, government bodies about how we can grow this whole ecosystem and make things better for everybody. And so I've appreciated your driving that in lots of ways, and stuff. Your energy has been great. And I think we're really, really, really just getting started. Even being here in Victoria, I'm it's a crazy, I grew up in Sacramento, California, which is the, bureaucratic city that runs all of California. And that's very much the vibes in Victoria too. It's like, just, there's a lot of money here, you know, that comes from the government and programs and different things and stuff. And so I'm just, as I do, I'm mapping power, mapping money, and
well, that's the biggest question mark in terms of accessing government, is that it's a very confusing maze, especially if you've never been in there before. So having people like Gokhan and kind of understanding how to navigate that is hugely important. So having a strategy around that is going to be critical in my view.
I just saw a photo on the group chat of Sass and Gokhan Bazaran, who is one of our members, and he is also, he works for ISDI, which is like, you know, the federal innovation. He's a federal innovation concierge. So he's been guiding several of the projects inside of our org, several of your guys' projects, as they move through different granting processes and stuff. He's a resource. If you're putting in federal or provincial grants, you should let him know. You should ask him for his opinion. You can find him on our group chats. I'd be happy to introduce him if you need, but he's a friendly guy. He's the guy I posted that surf photo for this morning because he's a big kite foiler. All right. Hey, Floyd, you don't always come and talk, so I'd love to throw to you, see how things are going over there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here. I came in September or something, and then I was in Poland for a month. So I did not, and I think I missed last couple.
How's the big wide world, Floyd? I haven't been anywhere.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. I'm a software developer, web developer, and yeah, using AI certainly for code assistance and that kind of stuff. Still haven't yet doing some initial stuff with agents that where you're dispatching separate agents and stuff, but yeah, still kind of still getting a feel for how to change the process and everything. So
yeah,
and yeah, so that's where I'm listening in on what people are doing and trying to figure out.
Have you downloaded Anti-Gravity?
I just did here.
Great.
So yeah,
Great.
I've been using Copilot in VS Code primarily with Claude Sonnet, but I just downloaded Anti-Gravity since y'all were talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I could be wrong. I'm a bit of a generalist like Jason, but I started cutting and pasting outputs from GPT into code editors at first, and then I got Cursor and it changed everything. And then I went into the Claude Code world and it felt like a whole generational shift again. And Anti-Gravity, I'm ready to sunset all of those tools probably and do a leap into this Anti-Gravity world. Jay, I was asking you about the difference between the agent screen and the editor screen, and stuff. And so like, I'm familiar with the IDE, VS Code editor environment and all the AI upgrades there, but I wasn't the agent mode with the inbox where I'm running simultaneous tasks on different repos. And then they just pop into my inbox for review when they're done. It's like a whole nother new unlock around the way to orchestrate these things. So I think that this is another generation of evolution. I think it supersedes the previous workflow and methodology. For me, it seems like it, and we'll just have to see what happens next. But I guess that's a good sign that Anton's sending rocket ships. Hey, Finn. Are you a robot?
I'm on mute. Yes. Hi. Sorry, it's coming late, so I didn't hear.
No, that's all right. We're just, like I'm just like naming names and asking people to say what's up who kind of haven't been around in a while, just to prevent us from speaking over each other in chaos. So I just was like, hey, Finn, you're doing some robotic stuff, and what's going on out there?
Yeah. We do the robotics team at my kids' school every year. And this time they're all grade 12. They're all like, oh, I haven't got any time to work on it. We're not going to do anything. And then we had our first meetup last weekend, and they came back with 100 things. Like, we're going to rebuild the whole robot, redesign everything. So they're in rebuilding the CAD design at the moment and completely recreating the robot. It's pretty cool.
I
was very pleased because we met someone from the BC MLA today who's going to hopefully come along to the provincial championships, see if we can get some resources for more robotics in schools. So that's really great. And if anybody, sorry, turn that off. If anybody is connected with BC provincial government and interested in that, then yeah, be good to hear from you.
I was at the Tectoria thing this morning, and there was a booth called I'm trying to turn my background off here because Loki just showed up. Nice. Tectoria this morning, there was a group called the Vancouver or the Victoria Hand Society. And I'm like, well, that sounds interesting. I got to go check out what the Hand Society is. Did I read that right? Sure enough, they're a robotics club focused on hands. And they had so many robotic hands there. Because, like, if you listen to any of the guys like Elon, anyone who are trying to solve robots, they're investing like half their budget in the hands right now. It's where things are problematic and when there's been big innovation. So it's pretty cool to see the Victoria Hand Society, also nonprofit, hacking their way into the robot hand world.
It's a awful situation that's led to it, but I imagine there's going to be a lot of innovation in Ukraine.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Loki, what's going on?
Just made it into town, just in time to catch the latter half of the business hours and hang out with Chris. We had a very busy day yesterday, and I pretty much slept through the morning. So just getting back on my feet.
Yeah, you've been doing double duty over here and organizing events, speaking, keynoting.
It was and that reminds me. Next week, I mentioned AI in healthcare. That's happening here at Fort Tectoria. Thursday night, if anybody's
AI healthcare meetup happening here next Wednesday.
Yes, in fact, and a couple of
don't go to it. We're having our own meetup.
Oh no, sorry. So anyway, I forgot I said that.
Except for Ash, you should come because you're in Ladysmith and probably not coming to Vancouver. So.
There we go. But yesterday was the Prompt AI Summit. I'm sure you mentioned all about that. And it was with the Victoria Data Society and Via Tech. So, and this is all Tech Week over here, and boy, Chris is here. So it's been a lot of good stuff happening. And yesterday was super busy. That was interesting. Did you talk about your experience going to the various breakouts and
a little bit? I did. Yeah, I did talk. Yeah, I did. I talked about how high the signal is here, and I talked about my growing affection for the authenticity of a lot of what's going on around here. And I also said, like, it's been really fun watching you evolve over the last little while, finding your voice in this consciousness stuff publicly and having your little research group and our reading group as a way to incubate your ideas, share them at Mac. And then I said to everyone here, I'm like, it's cool. He like took this little slice of Mac and brought it into the business conference where that stuff doesn't always fit, except as a closing keynote where you're like, okay, now let's blast off. And yeah, it was really, so I'm curious, like, because we haven't chatted, like how was it received? Like, you must have got some interesting comments.
I did get some interesting comments. And in fact, it's too bad you couldn't see the ending because I think I caught people. And I even caught myself because this has been in alignment with my thinking, but I hadn't taken it quite this far before. So I'll hold that idea because I'll talk about it at the next deep dive. You're going to be at the next deep dive? Good. But it really, I think, gave people something both to think about, but also it put a lot of context on what people have been thinking about. And I think I started out the conversation just asking, who's afraid I'm going to mention consciousness and who's actually kind of hopeful I will. And it is a split. There's a tension there where people are a little uncomfortable, but kind of excited. And AI is bringing all of that up. So 10 years ago, you didn't talk about any of this in public. And now it's almost imperative.
I mean, it's got adjacencies into spirituality, religion, identity, psychedelics, and all these somewhat taboo topics, you know, and stuff. So I see that too.
It's a real challenge, but it did end really well. I got a lot of very positive feedback. And I got a chance to drop references to Mac and the activities in Vancouver. So I think people over here are connecting. So
I'm going to use the fact that we're together to go a little deeper here. So Loki helps run Circle Innovation, which is a nonprofit here based in Victoria that's got a bunch of interesting things going on. They've got this Fast for BC program, which is an innovation deal that I'll let him tell you about that they've received some pretty significant money for. And he's helped unlock some provincial financing for some of the programs that I've been running through the upgrade for the people that are in his accelerator programs and stuff. And so, I mean, I don't think you always get a chance to do this. So tell folks about like Circle Innovation and like why they should pay attention. Because also some of the small and medium businesses you guys run probably apply are eligible maybe through things that Loki's doing for some other things and stuff. So what should people know about that stuff?
I kind of deliberately don't talk about Circle much. I'm trying to wear a different hat as part of BCAI and doing Mac and things like that. But Circle, just so you understand, so you know, is a nonprofit. It's been around 8 or 9 years. We refer to it as an innovation agency. It's not a granting agency. And we have a particular methodology, which is what attracted me to Circle in the first place. I've been an entrepreneur for 22 years. And the way the Canadian system and how it works and how the innovation system works troubled me. I've seen so many private public initiatives that just, didn't make it. Wavefront and Numic, and tried to participate in them as a business person. And it really struck me that there was a problem there. And so Circle has a particular methodology I mentioned, and we'll get into it, but it means deep involvement with the company and really supporting them to get at a certain stage and to get to a certain outcome. And we co-fund that activity. And it's usually, we call it SWAT methodology. So it's when the company is in not dire straits, but really facing a big challenge. It's good to have friends. Like as a CEO, if any of you are CEOs, you don't feel like you have a lot of friends. Not a lot of people understand the problems you're having. Not a lot of people to talk to about them, and probably doesn't feel like anybody wants to help. So you're on your own. And we try to change that. We try to give them a group that has no particular agenda. We're non-dilutive. We just want to see companies successful. And I think we do things a bit differently than all the rest of them. So we do have a differentiator. We do have a value proposition. And what we do, just to finish, is look for meta problems in the ecosystem. And then we propose a program to address that meta problem. And AI commercialization. That's fast. Fast should launch in April.
So if you got some AI products or ideas that your company's incubating and the path to commercialization is unclear, you might want to look at what Circle's got going on. Yeah.
Now we're not early stage. That's the main thing. I think a lot of people here are at early stage and thinking about that. We tend to be more AI ready, AI forward companies who have an established record, and we're trying to get them over that hump of how do I adopt. People are starting out AI native. We have other resources and that's a lot of what we've been doing with you, is really trying to connect companies to the right resources. So I think we're going to be creative. We're going to try to do whatever we can with whatever needs to be done.
I love it. I think you present a really great story, man, and it's been an honor collaborating with you. It's been really good. All right. Oh wow, Matt Locke just did a freaking switcherdoodle, man. I've never seen this look. Matt Lambert in Clark Kent disguise. How's it going out there?
Well, sometimes I need to read, right? So I have to wear the glasses. Things are good. Good. I've been spending the week kind of trying to get a bit of a focus down on some of my Swarm work and
Will you start with an overview, because we have so many new people that I want you. Yeah.
Fair.
Swarm.
This is a good test because I'm supposed to be focusing. But basically, Swarm is a what I call a design practice for clarity. So it's I don't like calling it a framework because there's a lot of loaded language around frameworks, but it's a process to get from noise to signal or problem to solution very quickly, based on 20 plus years of working with startups and working in design. I'm currently in the process of trying to build a deck so I can talk about this in a more concise manner. And hopefully at a future meetup is the plan. And yeah, so that's what I've been up to this week, is trying to boil that down into it.
And in the broadest sense, you're essentially systematizing your perspective and process around design and iteration.
Yeah, and through that process, what was really interesting, I started this as more of, often designers work on instinct, and it's very hard to communicate that instinct to other stakeholders. So I was working on a way to actually put a system around that to be able to communicate better. But through the process, I learned that, I can actually apply this to not just design, but just creativity in general, product management, product strategy. And that is some of the interesting learning that came out that I want to start to share.
I mean, if you can systematize it and document it, you can automate it. And I mean, a swarm design agent that worked like some of the development tools, but worked on design stuff would be a very fascinating thing. I mean, everyone's trying to do it, but I haven't actually seen anything like that. That's like a agentic design systems based on a framework or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like a couple months back, I actually built like a GPT that runs through it, which was actually pretty interesting. I decided to just kind of take it down until the idea was a little more formed. But yeah, like that's kind of where it's broadly going. Like, can I actually turn this into an agent or turn this into like more of an automated
Well, and the mountain is coming to Muhammad because you can also your ability to do generative audio, video, images out of the results of the design system has come to you while you've been figuring out the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, like the real interesting insight that I want to put into the deck that kind of came around the last couple of weeks was that like I've been working on this music project just unfocused in my spare time for like when I thought about it, it's like 4 or 5 years. And then once I started to put it through like this framework, it ended up producing like an 11 song album, a music video, and a whole design language around it in like about a month, maybe
Wow. Yeah,
2 months.
totally. Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like, oh,
I've been noticing the stuff coming out of that system and I can see the potential. I know that it's basic right now, but I can see where you're going. And it's what everyone's really wanted, like a music video generator that actually makes not slop.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the goal, right? Authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty sweet, man. Um, Chris, I see you're off camera, but I bet you're out there. I just wanted to say hi, invite you to say anything if you like, and maybe if you feel like you give us a little recap of the Surrey meetup this week. He might just be listening.
Hold on. I'm
Yep, take your time. No problem.
I just got home. So how I'm showing up today, if you'd got me 42 minutes ago, I would have said pretty friggin' aggro because I was driving back from my girlfriend's place by Abbotsford and the weather was making it a slow day on the highway and I am speed ka-chow. So but no, Surrey AI was great. I went one of the reasons I went is because I can't go to Vancouver this week and I'm also just trying to figure.
Dang, we lost him.
Oh, he muted. Not sure why he muted, but
You just let us know when you're ready to come back, sir. Yemi, you want to give us an update?
Oh my goodness. I am just catching up on all of this and I'm like, oh, what have I missed? What have I missed? I open my phone, I'm like 800 plus messages. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Let it
Okay,
all wash.
so
Let it all wash on by, Yemi.
I know. I'm trying to catch all the new tools as well because I'm like, I need to get on that one. So yeah, it's a lot going on, but so far so good since the last time we spoke. Um, we got mentioned in the Business Day newspaper for the digital fashion event that we had hosted in Lagos with the announced team. So that was really good, and everybody got it mentioned, which was like the whole idea to kind of get our names out there and start to really plant that flag for what it is that we're trying to achieve on the continent as related to the future of fashion. And then I attended some a creative hub launch by the Goethe Institute in association with the African, like they're trying to network with a lot of the African countries. And I got to meet one of the special advisors to the Office of the President for Arts, Culture, and the Creative Industries. Met some ambassadors as well. So kind of trying to basically just network within my my current climate while I'm away from Vancouver. I'm missing all of that nice rain I hear is falling. So it's raining here as well. The heat is awesome. I'm connecting with family. My laptop got stolen. I didn't mention that, but somehow it's been a I know it's been a blessing in disguise because I needed to take a break. Like I literally needed to get off that system. So it was like I couldn't even be mad. Like yeah, I was like, you know what? I guess that's it for me then.
That is like such the moment that we live in. It takes your laptop getting stolen to unplug, and when it
I
happens,
know. I'm like,
when it happens, you're like, what a blessing.
I'm like, oh, I knew it. I saw 333 the other day. It was a sign. it was okay. I was literally still hosting the event. I was panel discussing, I was moderating. So I didn't even have time to like even moan over it. I was like, guys, we got the show. Like, let's keep it going and we'll moan over this later. So
I mean,
but thankfully
I feel so, I feel so guilty about my addiction. I feel called out just by your example. I'm like, I guess it would take my laptop stolen for me to take a break.
just save all your stuff on the cloud. So thankfully all my documents, files, and projects are like already saved on the cloud. So I didn't really lose a lot. I didn't lose any data basically on any kind of project I've been working on. And thankfully with all this web-based, softwares and the AI, it's literally just like I just connect from any device that I can get my hands on. So
back in
it's
business.
okay. And yes, having fun with the kids.
Good.
My freshly turned 13-year-old daughter with all the attitude. Yeah, trying to get rid of that teen mom, the teen mom phase. And like, oh my goodness, are they this uninterested in life in general? Or is this just a Gen Alpha thing? Like they are just so unbothered.
Well, it's
yeah,
great to
it's been
see you.
fun.
Thanks for making a point to be here and stuff. And I know you're giving up a night out to hang with us, so that's cool.
Oh, it's okay. I do
Hey.
anything for you guys.
Hey, Chris, it's nice to see you with your hair down. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Surrey AI was great. I really appreciated that it was a smaller, more intimate sort of vibe and setting, a smaller group. So it enabled a bit more of like the, checking out each other and getting to know me, the people, rather than having like, the keynote sort of speaker really focus. It was more around like, say group discussions. We had a debate, which I thought was really cool, and stuff came out of it that actually has like taught me a little bit and got me working with new tools. So I see Dimitri's on the call, and he mentioned Google Notebook LM and how his like revolutionizing some of his like research and work. And so since then I put it to use productively. And I'll say like, to me, that's a big thing because I've struggled to find an actual productive use case for LLMs in my own work. But Google Notebook is like down the middle. It's what I actually need, like a research assistant, right? And that's helped because since I really started working with AI about 6 months ago, I've had a longer interest in it, but like putting together like, open source stacks of enterprise AI grade tools kind of thing, trying to work with First Nations and crack that nut. So much has happened. And I didn't really document my process, my business plan, my innovation plan when I first did the build out. And I've been dragging my heels on, taking it down and putting together a new build with like, say, the DeepSeek OCR and stuff like that that have come out in the last 6 months. Well, getting my hands on Notebook helped me like get over that hump where I was like kind of like almost like anxious about taking apart my system because I was like, do I really know if I can do it again kind of thing? So having Notebook LM has like supported me to kind of like my mental anxiety around that, as well as the fact that it's like my first build, it's my baby kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And so I guess since Surrey, I've had a bit of a breakthrough in kind of the work and play space with AI. And although I'm pretty jelly of you getting to go over to Vic and that you're there with Loki there, I love Vic. I've also been like, hey man, I'm getting shit done. And so yeah, I'm feeling quite jazzed right now. And just kind of, at the end of a process where I was doing so much brain work over the last month, 2 months kind of thing, like developing a true innovation plan, a decision log. And now I'm at the point where I can like actually do my business process while I rebuild the new stack so that it'll be like all documented. And then, next week I launch into IP coursework through BC Tech and their scale up accelerator or whatnot. So shit's on the up, and I wish I could come to the meeting next week, but I love these Friday check-ins because and the series,
man. I actually think they're more than their some of their parts. Like we've met every week for 3 months, and a lot of us have been here for all of them, and we've really got to know each other. And I know there's a lot of relationships that have formed and stuff. And hey, I saw the Indigenomics team yesterday and today, and I mentioned you this morning to them again, and just some of the stuff we've been connecting about, and let them know that when the time is right, they should bring you in for an interview. So,
well, I appreciate that because I'm aggressively unemployed right now, and at this point, it's like, do you like keep trying to crack away at the tech and the consulting world, or do you go back to like full-time wage work, which would take up a lot of my time, right? And so it's this big dilemma once you get like deep into your finances.
Well, I know a lot of people are facing that in a lot of ways, and stuff. And some people even in our community have been right down to that wire and then had all sorts of different things change for them and stuff. And so actually, despite the fact that I would like to hire you, I can't this week at Indigenomics Institute. So the fact, even though I got some sort of claim on your fucking head, I want to say to everyone else, Chris is a deep thinker about this stuff, about policy and governance and ethics as it relates to AI. He works with the Health First Nation and has a deep background in this stuff. And so if you need a short-term project guy to come in and take care of some stuff, I would consider talking to Chris, and it would help him a lot as he kind of moves through the next couple months or whatever. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there too.
Thank you. One thing I will say too, good feedback from the last Surrey meeting, besides the use of Notebook, was like, when I said I'm not getting value out of LLMs and, developing like say my innovation plan or whatnot, I got called out by one of our colleagues there, and he was just like, you're not using AI right, you're not prompting it right and whatnot. And that gets me thinking about the ethics, like when should we be inserting AI? And a lot of people I find want to use AI at the front end to like draft their first drafts and then work off of that. Whereas I look at like the ethics around knowledge collapse and who is going to become our new like entry level and like who's going to develop that like initial platform of knowledge. And so my personal take on it is like we should draft the first drafts and then use AI to like refine and refine and refine and get it to a more credible product and whatnot. Be deep where we're deep and be curious where we're shallow. And so that's been kind of like my breakthrough. I took that criticism to heart, but then I was like, how do I fit that into my personal way of looking at AI? And then how do I use AI so that I'm not essentially like undercutting myself? And that's like, okay. And then that just fed into how I'm using Notebook, right? So I'm putting my own original first drafts in there and getting that Notebook to like make it a lot fucking better. So hell yeah. Thanks a lot, man. And I if you don't cut me off, I'll keep talking, Chris. So I'm going to cut myself.
And I'm going to land this plane in 8 minutes and everyone's going to get to talk. So that's the goal here. Hey, Rob Arthurs, me and you hung out Wednesday morning with your friend George. You just want to give us a little what's what?
How am I showing up today, Chris? Well, I'm still freaking blown away by your computer. That I sit at the back of the room, I contribute here and there, and that whole freaking thing that you showed me on your computer blew me away.
Nobody knows about it. Let me just give a quick overview. Many of you have maybe heard me allude to this, but I'm building a knowledge base, a significant knowledge base on my local machine for right now. It represents our WhatsApp group chats, the outputs of these calls from the last 3 months, the transcription of every Vancouver AI from the stage for 2 years, plus some other data sources as well. I've got 2,800 markdown files from our community representing almost everything that's ever happened in a vector database that I have built a RAG front end on the top of. And so I was sitting there with Rob and I'm like, well, let's see what the system knows about you. And I literally output like 1,500 lines of code of everything he's ever said anywhere on any of our channels, cross-referenced against these calls, plus anytime I've shouted him out from the stage at a meetup or whatever. And they're crazy. They're pretty crazy. So that's what he's talking about.
It's freaking crazy because I'm looking and saying, what I'm really, the positives are one thing, Chris, but what I like to hear is when it said, you sit at the back of the room. Like, how the fuck does it know that? Like this is how, is this how I'm being seen? So I look at that, Chris, as a tool to show everybody themselves of how they're showing up. Do you sit at the back of the room? Is this how you contribute? I mean, if you're a person that's open-minded like me, I love open criticism. I like to see how I'm showing up. And this just, it enlightened me and said, holy fuck, could I ever use that tool with my coaching clients and say, this is how you're showing up. This is how you're being seen out there. And you can either take this information or use it or nothing. But Rob, I love that.
You've said so many things I identify with already. Like, first of all, AI is a great mirror just in general. And that is absolutely how I use it. And then secondly, of all the feedbacks it's ever given me, the harsh critic voice is the most useful voice of all the voices.
By far.
Yeah, that I've ever received from it. And I had a third point, but I don't really remember what it is. But that's pretty cool. So it doesn't just do people, though. It can also do thematics. So it can be like, hey, I know that Mac's been talking about consciousness, but it's also made it into the stage time and it's also in some group chats. Let's do something about embodied consciousness. And it will, like our bibliographical citation tools now, not only will it retrieve the info, but it'll tell me, what markdown file it got it from in case there's, me wanting to fact check its accuracy or something like that. So I'm just experimenting. Oh,
I love it.
I remember now, Rob.
I love it, Chris. And you should do, every member should book a session for you for $50 and you can tell them what they know.
If you come to me on my laptop one day and ask me what the magic machine knows, I'll show you. But also I'm going to release it as a private GitHub repo at some point so other people, because really I don't want to own it. I want y'all to fucking build tools on top of it, like member directories and who knows what, and stuff. So we're just getting there. But the other thing I was going to say is I proof of concepted it on my coaching people through the upgrade, like maybe 6 months ago. Once I had like 200 hours of coaching transcripts from 200 students, I was like, oh, I bet I have a coaching style, but I don't know what it is. So I asked the knowledge base to help me understand my coaching style. And I looked at all the calls and the things it said back were fucking incredibly insightful. Okay, we're moving towards the end, and I would like to give Michelle a chance to say hello, and then Zaro has traditionally been wrapping us up. If you're on the call, you have it. Oh, I see Jazz. Jazz is here too. So if you want to chat, throw your camera on. First, we'll go to Michelle.
Hey guys, how are you doing? It's been a busy week. I continued on my long-term condos in space project. I had some fun creating a Python file there for a Google Colab that actually goes out and checks the background of all space for the sum of all signals possibly from exoplanets out there, but it still didn't detect anything in the background of space, but that was kind of fun in the new space channel. Yesterday I went to the Google Dev Fest. It was a lot of fun. Just so much stuff. I'm running a lab right now. I've been looking at involving people that are like way outliers. I went and hung out with some musician outliers, and I've got them all turned on with AI. We used it to generate images and things that they can use for their marketing. So I've been having a lot of fun. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah. Hey, you reminded me last night at Philippe's Orion presentation at UVic. There was 2 protesters, and I've never seen. I mean, like I've seen one AI protest in my life, and it was a marketing campaign at South by Southwest. But this was 2 20-year-old musicians who came and acted like normal participants, but were recording the whole thing. And when it came to the question and answer time, they gave Philippe the fucking gears, man. And they were trying to get him to say things that he didn't believe. And they were really attacking AI for all the valid reasons that a 20-year-old artist would attack AI. But they didn't realize that like Philippe is literally like at the tip of the spear of the things that they believe. He's, instead of artists training their work on large models of stolen mankind, he's building tools so you can train models on only your work where you own all the outputs and you're not. And
He's their strongest ally.
Yeah. And you're not text prompting in Philippe's world. You're model bending and neural visual synthesizing and all this other stuff, but it was fascinating because they were doing the like YouTube, what do you call it? Like not shouting him down, but like talking him down afterwards, not
baiting,
trying to get him. Yeah. And like kind of trying to take over the whole thing. And I've never seen that, but it made me think and do some research as I was falling asleep last night, because very conceivably, we have a pretty critical voice, I think, collectively, both like examining the opportunities, but also like holding it to account, holding companies to account, asking governments to, help us around like regulation and governance. But
I turned 2 people around yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I've got them using the technology now, and they were like 180 degrees like the other direction.
Yeah. But I was thinking of it from the perspective of an event organizer. Like, it's very conceivable that we could show up at a Vancouver AI meetup sometime, and some, the Pause AI Society of Canada is burning Teslas in the parking lot or something. And like, what would be the appropriate response to that? And so I've just been thinking and doing research, because like the opinion is somewhat valid on one hand, except that it lacks a more broad and balanced perspective about, like where we're at and where we're going. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. There was 2 protesters at Philippe's thing, and he handled them expertly. I thought it was beautiful.
That is so funny. And if I can close with this, yesterday, me and Luke, we were having exactly that type of conversation. where he was talking about how he's looking into, building this AI agency for animation, basically using BCAI Film Club members. And he was looking for a voice, like what is the way that we go out and marketize ourselves? And I was like, bro, like there's a huge angle right now where a lot of people are looking into this topic with rage, or with a baity point of view that has not, their thoughts have not yet been digested to what it really means to an artist. And it's just like Kush on that meeting, on that meetup, where he was just talking about film, and he was saying like we are being also conditioned by the ones that are to lose the most, which are the big corporations in the animation or arts place, because they're the ones that are afraid to lose the control of, all of the copyright, all of the hard things. When you're looking at an indie artist, he's giving the tools right now to build an empire by himself. So there is a weird way that this information has been passed about, and it's because it's coming from above and so hardly pushed into us, that a lot of people are not thinking through by themselves what it really means for someone who, like myself or like Matt, who had this dream of doing a music album and has been holding back because studio time, or finding musicians to actually help finalize the composition and whatnot. All of a sudden, you're doing this in a week. All of a sudden, I am pushing out ads. I'm pushing out music videos for songs that were only in my head and images that were only in my head. And that's powerful. And once an indie artist starts to realize it, it's yeah, I think it's a shift that's going to happen on content production as a whole. And yeah, I was telling him, explore that, go out and make sure that you're baiting these people, because they want to have these conversations. They want to protest. And then BCAI has been so helpful and useful for us to create the fundaments, the basics of a conversation, a dialogue that we can have with people like that. So yeah, I bet he did well, because well, we've been preparing for this type of hard conversation for the last 24 months or something like that, right? So good job on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Zara, for closing us out. Way to preach. You got a lot of us moved there. Yeah, I mean, maybe especially. It's nice to see all your faces. Enoch, welcome. Thank you very much. Anton, good to see you guys. I've got a bunch more members to onboard later today when I get home, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Cheers. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Later, Yummy.